We're back at work. It's January, and I have to say, I've been feeling the level of stress, that kind of elevated step up of stress that kicks in when you return to work after a bit of a break. It's also got me thinking a bit about well-being and mental health issues, particularly in the legal profession. There's a lot more willingness to discuss what's labelled well-being, particularly at the bar. The Bar Council started an initiative, a great website all about well-being, some really interesting resources. I highly recommend it. But on the other hand, part of me feels as though our willingness to talk in the legal sector, at least, about well-being kind of masks or perhaps even illustrates an uncomfortableness around just the phrase mental health, and actually recognizing that there is an issue with mental health in the legal sector, both in terms of people who are experiencing mental health difficulties, but also in terms of the general stigma around it and a reluctance to talk about these things. So whilst I commend discussion of well-being and welfare as a way of sort of making people feel a little bit easier about perhaps confronting some of these topics, also we've got to talk about mental health. It's an issue, especially in January, known to be a particularly hard grind of a month. I guess the other irony of all this is that, here I am making a video, going to be putting it out on social media and talking about mental health and welfare and well-being. But, how does social media fit into all this? How comfortable are we as lawyers with our use of social media, and how does social media actually affect our mental health potentially? I think that's a massive issue, and clearly there's, just doing a quick survey of people's forecastings of topical issues in 2018, it's pretty clear that social media and its impact on our lives, be it corrosive, be it creative, is going to be at the fore. There's a lot of kind of, let's say, jadedness about, okay, we've seen the power of social media and how it can transform society, but we've also seen some pretty horrible things being exchanged on social media and it facilitating all sorts of the world's woes. How do we contain that? And Germany's now taking steps, or due to take steps, to use the law to address that. What are other states doing? What are other individuals doing? How does the legal sector respond to all of this social and, in time, legal change? People are wondering if 2018 will really be the year that social media is sort of tamped down in terms of its more damaging and negative impacts on us. So how does me sharing this video even help if it's not really that good for us to be online all the time and digesting things like this? It's a paradox. I don't really have the solution, but maybe, just maybe, there are ways in which we can use social media responsibly, and ways in which we can be a bit more reflective and acknowledge its potentially damaging role in order to focus more on its positive power. I certainly hope that there may well be a way in which I can use my social media accounts, my blog, to promote positivity rather than just clickbait.